Go. Can I go?
Yeah, you're going.
All right. We're still struggling a little bit to get this thing figured out. It looks like we got good readings on the computer right now. The one problem, we do have a little bit of static in our headphones. And the last few times we messed around with it, it kind of played back in the recording.
See what happens.
Yeah.
It's better than it was.
It's definitely a lot more dull than what it was, that's for sure. We can still kind of hear it a little bit. Hey, anyways, what I was just saying before we click this, the FDA approved the COVID-19 vaccine.
Wasn't it getting people sick? Like it was like temporarily paralyzing their face or something like that.
So there was multiple cases, I guess, that it like bloated the hell out of their stomach and stuff.
Yeah.
I forget what the word was, but like they were just getting
Keep your face closed.
they were just getting like really sick. And that's all I've been seeing is so apparently they've been running it in the UK for a little bit. And the UK was like trying to like their citizens were trying to warn like us to be careful, like this thing's been fucking people up. And now they just passed it for emergency distribution. So
See, then I was hearing that it's in 2 installments or something they're looking at. Is that the same one?
looks like the first doses could be distributed to millions of healthcare workers and nursing home residents within days. The vaccine is safe and effective. The FDA's lengthy analysis of the trial data shows. That's the New York Times posted that.
Yeah.
Oh man, dude.
Try getting closer to your mic.
It's still not picking up that good?
No, it's picking up, but not the best.
Yours is louder than mine?
Yeah.
Really?
Just keep it. But you're like back here. Like I'm right up in it.
I feel
You're not as close. Like my nose is almost touching. That's touching.
all right.
Yeah, that's good right there.
That close.
Just pull the mic closer, so you're not so hunched over. Like, yeah, there you go.
This is new for everybody.
Yeah,
All right. Still working all right?
yeah, that sounds good.
All right. What do you think?
About a vaccine?
Yeah.
I'm not taking one.
Dude, I just think it happened so fast. Like, granted, it's been 18 months or whatever since the whole thing
That's
happened.
not enough time.
No.
dude, that's not
Dude.
enough time.
For, like, when we would, like, do studies at school,
Yeah.
when we'd have to, like, you had to, like, set up an actual study. Like, have people come in or whatever, and, like, if 10 people think this, then 3 of them only think this, then this is significant, right?
Yeah.
If we had to, like when we talked about it, if you had to do anything with like medications or like obviously we weren't doing that, not in like undergrad, maybe
Right.
in like graduate school, but that's all they would emphasize is when they had to set up studies, how long it would take to one get the funding to do like a medical study, and then 2 how long it takes, because yeah, you're looking at short-term effects of people, but what about the long term? We don't know what's going to happen in the long term. Didn't they just come out with like the idea of this in the last couple months?
Didn't they
Like
just
Pfizer
come
or
out with
whatever?
like what
It's doing to
this virus has only been around like as a virus for this short amount of time.
You're
Like
right.
we
Hey.
don't even know like what like contracting the virus does to you long term.
we don't even know if you can get it again
Yeah.
within X amount of days.
Yeah.
So Dad just had to go into the doctor, and he went to somebody up in Oshkosh, and they're like, yeah, it's going to be about 3 months. If after this you won't get it for 3 months. And like we've been hearing that from everybody. Well, then he just went to somebody here in Fond du Lac, and they're like, well, it could be a couple days and you could get it again.
Yeah,
we don't really know. Like he's just straight up said it to him.
Yeah.
And it's like they don't know. Like they really don't know.
I don't think they know.
And it's how are you just
How are you doing a vaccine if you don't even know about the virus?
yeah, you don't like
you don't even know what it does to you when you have it.
it stops it for how long?
I don't know.
How long did they run the trial?
If
Like,
it looks
who knows
like-
if it's going to come back mutated even more and just start ripping people's lungs apart?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not taking it. Here's what's going to happen, though. And this is going to me sounding like a conspiracy nut, but I think eventually, and I just talked to my dad today, and he agrees too, eventually it's going to come down to the kids. If you don't have it, you can't come to our school. if you want to travel on an airplane, if you can't prove that you have it, and then it's going to come down to, well, what are they actually putting in this? That why would they enforce that? Like, you know what I mean? It's a virus.
Why can't you choose?
Yeah.
Like
That should be my choice.
I think that is what's going to happen. Eventually, like airlines, you won't be able to fly. Well, then it's going to transition into your everyday life. It's going to start affecting you. If you have kids, it's going to affect that. But what happens when your employer says,
Yeah.
do you have the vaccine? No? Okay, well, then don't come back to work on Monday.
I was working at Aurora in Oshkosh, and the guy came around, the soup from, well, I won't name the company, but the soup came, and Aurora makes you wear a name badge with your picture, and if you don't have the flu shot sticker on it, they kicked me off site, and I had been there for like a week and a half. And
Really?
He's like, you have a flu shot? I'm like, no, like, I'm not getting a flu shot. Like, yeah. I sound stupid. Like, yeah, I'm not getting one, but I'm just like, that should be my choice. Why you guys, that was the main thing. I was just like,
yeah, I haven't had one since they made you take them in school.
I was like, I don't feel I need one. I've never had the flu. I don't get one. Like, he's like, well, you can't be here till you get one. See, and I'm in Aurora, which is a health clinic here in Wisconsin.
It doesn't make any sense.
And I said, well, can't I just go to the pharmacy and take one? You can try. I don't know if they have one. I went down there. They had one left, and it was for senior citizens. It was for, like, elderly people.
Really?
And they shot it in me. And sure fucking shit, that next week I got sick. Dude.
Yeah, well, they say you do get sick from when you take it.
But I'm like...
Because it is putting the antibodies.
Why is that, man? Why is that your choice?
Well, that's what...
Why you forced... Like, you're walking me off a job site because I don't have a flu shot.
Because who is it? Is it affecting somebody else? Not if they have the shot, right? So it should be up to them, right? Because if you do get it, even if you have the flu shot, can't you still spread it? So why would it matter?
I don't know.
Unless we don't know something about that. But that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if you have the flu shot, that doesn't mean that you can't spread the flu.
Yeah, I don't know.
Does it?
I don't know how that works. But I was just kind of pissed that the funny thing is that I got the shot. I was on site for 3 more days, and then they sent me to another job site anyways. But, I don't know.
And then you got sick days later.
Yeah. But I don't have a problem getting it.
Getting COVID.
Yeah.
Like, if you get it.
I think, obviously, I have grandmas and grandpas and people that are not healthy in my family, like, that are going to be susceptible to get it pretty bad. But at the same time, I'm like, dude, we can't keep going through this shutdowns.
Hiding inside for everything. It's going to run its course. If you're afraid to go outside, you're afraid to go shopping, you can go pick up or whatever. Like, if you're afraid of it, that's in America. Yeah. In America, you'd think, like, the freedoms.
That's my choice.
Yeah, it comes down to each person's decision. And right now, we've just put it in the hands of the government. And that scares the hell out of me because people would text me from school, like, when it first broke out, like, and I would, like, put a post up kind of against it, like, against the whole idea of, oh, let's lock down, like, close all the businesses, because that pisses me off. Like, you shut down all these businesses, yet they leave open the Walmart and Amazon, like, these huge businesses.
Yeah.
You're just destroying, like, any possibility of these small businesses to keep going through this whole thing. Little by little, they just find everything they can. Like, and that was pissing me off. So, like, I was posting it, and people are like, it's only 30 days or it's only 2 months. Like, why can't you? It's like, no, that's not the point. Like, I get the idea of, like, we want to get rid of the virus. 1, I don't think that would happen. And 2, it hasn't happened.
It's impossible.
But 3, like, the thing, like I said, like, that's what pissed me off is you're attacking the small business of America, and you see that because, like, we know people that have small businesses. They're like, that's where you go to do things, like going to the gym or just going to grab coffee at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like, it's all small business, and they're just trying to find any little way. We haven't seen the effect too much in our area, Granted, it's still happening. Like you are seeing some places close down.
Effect of what?
Like the effect of the long term of shutting everything down. Like if you look at like us,
Yeah.
like for a while we had bars and all that were closed down for a couple months, and then they opened it back up to like minimal, like they had all the minimal
Mhm.
rules, you know, or you had to wear a mask when you came in, blah blah blah. Not if you have a drink or like all that. But different states have seen a dramatic effect from it. Like they just in New York, they just closed down. You can't even eat indoors or anything now. They kept limiting back. Like, oh, we have outdoor seating, you can do that.
Yeah.
But now
don't
they don't
know,
have any of that. You can't do that at all. So when's it gonna be? Oh, no more carry out. When's that gonna happen? It's gonna happen.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the whole thing smells like shit. It looks like shit.
I hate it.
Obviously, it's a real virus. It affects everybody differently. I mean, look at what just happened this past week with us.
Yeah.
Like, some people got sick, some people didn't.
Some people had 2 days of symptoms,
Yeah.
and then it's gone.
Do we
I
want to
don't-
get into that or no?
No, just not yet. Kinda, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah, and I just hate talking about it. It pisses me off.
But even so, it's just like everything is like a control. I feel like we're just that's what gets me is that like
No, that's why I
I'll,
got mad.
I'll wear the mask. I'll go through the motions, but I'm not going to be happy about it. I'm not one of them guys that are
See-
walking into places without masks that are just rebelling
Yeah, well,
just because.
so that's where it started when I got like one of the first messages I got was, "Really, you can't wear a mask?"
Yeah.
And it did kind of get me pissed that we had to wear a mask because it was just them trying to find a way into like our daily lives.
Yeah.
And then I just had that feeling that when was the next step? And like you kept seeing like, oh, like they just want you to do this so that they can get you to obey this and then get you to obey this because they're putting fear into your mind.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we see happening. You see some people, if they watch, if you could do like a questionnaire and just see who watches the news for more than 20 minutes a day, I guarantee those people that watch it for more than 20 minutes a day, if you also looked at the fear of how they perceive COVID, would be X amount of times higher than somebody that doesn't watch the news
Mm-hmm.
for more than them 20 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, dude.
Fuck it.
I don't think we're ever gonna see.
The new normal. Do we
I
go
think-
back to normal?
I don't think we ever do. I think. Okay, so I'll use like the construction analogy. When my grandpa got into the trades in the 1950s, no gloves, no hard hat. He worked at St. Agnes, which is a hospital here in town. He put like the 7th and 8th floor on it. He said to get up to the top, instead of walking the stairs every day, they'd put their feet on the ball of the crane and the crane would lift them up. Literally, they'd stand on the ball and hang on to the
Yeah, the cable.
The
just
cable.
go up.
just ride it to the top, get off on the whatever floor they were at. That was the 1950s, dude. That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
And then like look at like when they started mandating gloves on job sites.
We have,
Look at-
like whatever tool you have to have
Yeah.
a different type of glove on. Yeah.
I mean, I use that, but then like
No, that's a pretty good analogy though, because
how it's just like all of a sudden hard hats are the new norm. Now gloves. Now you can't ride this to the top. You know, like
yeah, you have to wear your vest,
Yeah.
you have to wear your hard hat, you have to wear your gloves. Now when you go out in public, it's just a mask. But
Look
what
at-
happens when all of a sudden you have to have a face shield on?
yeah,
Or you can only be 6 feet away from somebody, or it's a ticket, or
yeah.
you can only be out till 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
Like the curfew thing, how does
Yeah.
that make any sense?
It
Like,
doesn't.
If you're maintaining your distance,
Don't you know the
got your
COVID
mask.
sleeps after 10
Yeah,
o'clock at night?
yeah, it doesn't make, so much stuff doesn't make any sense, and I think that's also why I just can't go with what they're telling us we have to do.
But I think masks they're never going away. I think it's just
Oh, that would be so.
it's gonna, dude. Look at seatbelts in cars. Back in
Yeah.
the day with our parents, they used to just not wear seatbelts in cars. Now it's like a ticketed. They can pull you over for that.
an offense if you don't.
I think yeah, it's gonna be That's the new normal. And then they put out stuff like new normal.
Yeah, they are like they're
You know,
transitioning
yeah.
into that already.
I think it's just another control device. They're gonna do the masks for a little bit, then it's gonna be something else for a little bit.
Yeah, what's
Before you
next?
know
Like,
it,
do you have
before
to
you
wear
know it,
shopping?
you have to have the vaccine.
That's what gets me worried about it. Like they're telling you that you have to put something in your body.
Yeah.
That I can't imagine how bad like the vaccine was before, like with autism and all that. When they like you have all them people that are like, oh, it causes autism.
Yeah.
Imagine how big that crowd's gonna grow if we're starting to see some new illness come into the youth or whatever, or even older people, middle age, whatever. Obviously, the virus like affects your lungs. How do we know that? We should Google some symptoms of the vaccine that people have had. Did you see that interview with Bill Gates on NBC? I think
I heard about it. I didn't see it.
I forgot what podcast it's on, but the lady's like, Bill, we've had X and X amount happen to these people, and he's like, well, I think the FDA will take the right steps so we don't have these effects, blah blah blah. And she's like, Bill, we have this happening to people. And he just kind of looks at the camera and goes, well, I think the FDA will take the right steps going forward, blah, blah, blah. He does it again. And you just tell that he's trapped.
Yeah, I mean, them guys, you know, they're...
Somebody's pocketing off of this.
Yeah.
I haven't even... The stocks for that, I'm sure, is going stupid.
I don't even touch any
With
COVID scares.
No.
You know, no.
I don't even want to profit. Even if you could profit off of it, I feel like morally I wouldn't even want to.
I don't think...
And I just want the long-term idea of it.
They're literally a scare stock. You know what I mean? They're...
Yeah. Playing into the fear of it, you're saying?
If you look at the fundamentals of these stocks that are just booming because of COVID, they're top heavy. They're not. It's not something that
it's a fear right now.
Yeah, that's what's driving. That's what's driving the stocks. Which,
whether it's materials that people are buying.
How do you if you want to invest $2,000, I'm not going to invest something that the only thing driving it is the fear of the nation.
Some naive people will, but as far as we have some basics of it.
That doesn't make sense as an investor.
As far as a short-term day trader, then you tried to take your profits.
Yeah,
then
but
I could see that.
I don't get into day trading much, but as an investor, mine, which is what I have and what you have.
Yeah, I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't. Like I said, unless you were literally going for that quick dollar, but the long-term idea of it, there's no way. No way I would.
I'm looking for an article that just has a bulleted
list, something simple that you can.
I don't want to read a whole story. I can't really find anything. Yeah, it's. I don't know. I just don't know what to think about it. I don't do Facebook. I'd never watch the news.
Dude, the amount of people that are just so ready to jump on this vaccine and take it.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people.
Because they think that's going to be the cure.
The end all. They say that you have to have 70 to 80% of the people have to take it in the U.S. Right now, there is a questionnaire. I forgot where I saw it. It's roughly 50-50. The amount of people that will and won't take it throughout the U.S. I don't know how many people were surveyed or whatever, but that was just one of the studies that I saw, or questionnaires. I can guarantee you after the first 50,000 people get it, and 5,000 of them come up all messed up or tumors growing outside their fucking ears.
So this website is goodrx.com. It's probably, I don't know, it's not probably the most trustworthy website, but I don't know. GoodRx.com. What are the COVID-19 vaccine side effects? Will COVID-19 vaccines have side effects? Yes. Based on what we know so far, many people will have mild, short-term side effects after getting COVID-19 vaccine. So, yeah, short-term because we don't know the long-term, obviously.
Yeah, that I want to know what short term is to them. 3 months?
I don't know.
What's long term?
They say these side effects: fever, fatigue, headache, muscle pain, and joint pain. So
COVID.
basically COVID. That's literally COVID.
I'm trying to look at the article that was released in Yahoo to see if they have any. Oh, here we go. The FDA's decision came only after public review of data from a huge ongoing study. There's no link to the study.
Yeah.
It just mentions it. It has also been dodged by intense political pressure from the Trump administration, which has accused the agency of being too slow and even threatened to remove FDA chief Stephen Hahn if ruling did not come Friday. So now they're getting pressured into it from the administration to do it.
Yeah. Trump's been pushing for that since day one, and I don't agree with that at all.
No, absolutely not, dude. You're getting pushed by literally one of the biggest governments in the world. Some of the people with the highest power.
Yeah.
You have to get this done, or we're gonna terminate you. Fuck whatever the consequences are. I gotta keep my job.
Yeah, dude.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
This is it says it's the largest vaccination campaign in U.S. history. But it's also a global model, like a role model to other countries, because a lot of other countries are facing the same thing. So it has a global effect too. If this works, if it doesn't work, and we're not caring about any long-term data. We have a couple months of data, and we're just gonna go with it. That seems like a terrible idea.
Me and my mom and my dad all went over to my grandparents' house today. Then my uncle showed up. I had to pick my parents up at the, they got their car worked on today. So it's just my car and my grandparents' driveway. And my uncle showed up for a little bit. All of a sudden, we're deep into this fucking COVID debate. And I look at my dad and I'm just like, yeah, there's some smart people in this room, but none of us are doctors. Like, yeah, me and you are sitting here like talking about it.
Yeah.
But we're not fucking doctors.
No,
like,
we don't.
At the same time,
there could be, like, this could be safe.
Yeah.
It could be safe. But my biggest thing is there's no long-term data, and everything they talk to us in school about saying something was significant or proven fact until somewhere in science it's proven otherwise.
Yeah.
It says to look at long-term effects too, not just, you're okay in a week. Especially when it comes to medication or like a vaccine. And like I said, it's global. This is going to affect the whole country, and then all of a sudden other people bite on this. If the whole world just starts chewing on this vaccine within 2 months, and the long-term effects don't come for 3 years, all of a sudden people's lungs just start deteriorating.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? Is that not a possibility because they know about how this vaccine is or whatever?
Yeah.
Like there's something we don't really know. Maybe that's not even, they're not worried about the long-term effect because scientifically there's no way that could happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
just seems wild.
I'm just an idiot about the whole thing. Like, legitly, like, I'm a fucking idiot, dude. Like, I could read the study. Like, I could say, like, I need to read the studies about this vaccine, but I could read them and still barely know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what needs to happen. Like, if someone needs to go on TV like an actual scientist and explain it in like 2-year-old terms so that retards like me can
pick out what
yeah,
every
because
little
like
bit.
I don't know, like I'm not a scientist. I don't like I could read a study and like
But
get the general
comprehending it,
idea,
like
but
all of it, and then
comprehending it.
looking at the data and being able to analyze it would
Yeah.
be something completely different.
And
Yeah,
I think
I
even
would
like
not. I wouldn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
If I didn't literally get taught how to do that.
yeah,
Because it's not the easiest thing to go and look at that. Like,
right.
Like I said, you can go to the summary of the study, read it, and be like, oh, okay, so this happened and this happened. But then when you actually look at how the data was performed and how they analyzed everything to come up with the
Right.
numbers and to say why it's significant.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able
Because
to do that. I
You're
don't know.
really, when you do the summary, you have to look at the numbers to get your sentence, to make the sentence. This happened because this was like this, so this is significant.
Right.
Like, yeah. So that would be tough if you never, I don't know. Like, I would have no idea if I didn't go to school to learn it.
Yeah, I didn't go to school to learn that.
Yeah, I didn't intend to, but
I got paid to go to school to learn about sheet metal
and eventually
and
someday,
how heating and air conditioning systems work. I didn't get taught how to like sit down and read the studies of why this works this way and like
one of the classes I hated. Like, I just hated it as far as the homework, but it was good because it helped me carry over to my other classes when I had to like type a paper.
Yeah.
Or use like a good source and things like that. Then it helped. But like, I don't have to do that today. I don't do that for my job. So maybe someday it could pay off, but like right now, nope, not at all.
Anyways, let's stop talking about COVID. I hate talking about COVID.
Now we're not even gonna get this podcast up. It's just gonna get.
Yep.
Wipe it.
So you finished Goggins' book.
Yeah.
I'm on chapter 8 out of 11 now.
Oh, you're done then.
I'm close.
I was at 8 like 2 days ago, and it just goes so fast.
Yeah.
From there. Yeah, the first, I would say the first 2 chapters, it took me a little bit to get into it.
Just because it's about his childhood.
Yeah, and I was only reading probably 15 minutes a night. I just got back into like my routine of reading and stuff again. And when you only read 15 minutes, I mean, you get 6 pages?
Yeah.
You just you can't get into the flow. So I gotta start reading longer. So then I started reading for like 45 minutes a night. And then I was going damn, like by the chat, like if not a whole chapter, like damn near a chapter. Yeah. And then COVID, I had quarantined or whatever. And I finished that thing like so fast in like 2 days or 2.5 days. I would just sit down, read for at least an hour at a time, and then when you get into that little flow state, I just cruise through it. And
it's so good, dude.
Oh yeah, there's so many.
I recommend that book to everybody, literally everybody.
Can't Hurt Me.
Yep.
Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
And he just put a thing out on his story yesterday on his Instagram stories that if you buy it on Amazon, you have to make sure that it's sold and shipped by Amazon.
Amazon itself, not a secondary.
If it's a secondary source, he said it's guaranteed to be a fake. Like they're not a legit book. It's a reprint.
Really?
He said the only people that he sells it to is Amazon.com, or if you buy it at like Barnes and Noble or.
If you're looking for a book that has to do with self development or like forming not only a mental strength, I guess, but also physically too, like pushing the book's a lot. He was in the Marine Corps. He was in multiple different parts of the military.
Yeah, he's in the Air Force. He started in the Air Force.
Anyways, he talks about having a rough childhood growing up and then learning to push himself physically in order to succeed mentally and to grow stronger mentally as far as pushing himself in his careers and just everyday life. So if you're looking for something like that, it's one of the best books that I've read so far that has to do with self-improvement, both physically and mentally. It's a really good book.
he talks about how like how your mind has a governor on it, like
Like a car.
if you start running a mile, within that first mile, I feel like almost everybody, you get that question of why am I here? Like just quit. Like why you? That's your governor kicking in, and he says once you callous your mind, you push through that governor. He said everybody's got the potential of greatness. Like
So that's not when you run 1 mile and you get to that governor, it just starts hitting you. Like, what am
Yeah.
I doing? Like, why am I even running? Like, say you haven't worked out in years, or you're like, oh, I'm gonna start training again, and like I'm just gonna walk a mile every day, or whatever it
Yeah.
is. Like it doesn't have, like, it could be, yeah, running a mile every day. So say you wanted to start doing that, you're like, I want to run a mile every day to lose weight. Well, then you get halfway through that 1 mile, you're like, oh, what the hell am I doing? You got to find a purpose of like why you're doing it.
yeah.
And then when you get to that mile, just to push a little bit
Yep.
more, just a little bit more. Like, don't just stop at that mile, because if you keep on pushing, you're gonna find something deeper in you, like why you're doing it. Maybe it isn't just to lose weight, but maybe you've been picked on your whole life because you lost weight,
Yeah.
and now you feel you were never self-confident. So maybe it's not to lose the weight, but it's to gain that confidence back in yourself because you lost that weight.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah,
you got to read it. You have to read it. I personally not yet can I put that into perspective from what I read, but hopefully someday I've probably have to read the book a couple times, which
Yeah.
I probably will. It's just a good book to be able to explain that to somebody and try to give them the depth of what I saw.
I don't think we're calloused enough, to be honest.
No, that's
Like,
another thing too.
I'm soft, dude. Like, I feel like I do more than what like some other people do, but
Yeah.
I'm a pussy compared to this dude. Like
so
David Goggins is just an animal.
different breed. Even when you have Marines that have been Marines for 20 plus
And went
years,
through Hell Week.
see this guy and say he's just a different breed of human. He's done what he tries to preach to people, and that's Callus's mind.
But I say he's a different breed, but only because he worked to get there. Like I think starting off, he talks about how he was fat and lazy, almost 300 pounds. He lost, 100 pounds in 2 months to get into Navy SEAL training?
Yep.
Like, or a month or something. It was some
very
like,
short amount of time.
the only reason I say he's an animal is because like he calloused his mind and he put the fucking work in.
How would you describe callousing your mind?
Well, you hit that governor and you just keep
push
going
it every time.
and you push it every day.
Every time.
Literally
Every day.
Every day.
Everything that you do.
When you wake up in the morning and you're 100% fuck this, I'm not getting out of bed. You're getting there.
And then you're going to go do something that pushes you before you even, like, his thing was, as soon as he woke up, he'd be on the bike, do 6 hours on the bike, or go for a 10-mile run, whatever it was, like just an hour of running in the morning before he did anything. His way was getting some of the hardest things in his day out of the way right in the morning, because the comfort of your bed, nobody wants to get out of their bed.
Yeah.
At
nobody.
3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 o'clock, whatever it is, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, that comfort, that feeling of just, I can hit the snooze 10 more minutes, 5 more minutes. No, he says, fuck the snooze button. Get up, go push yourself, and push yourself hard, not just a little. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to start changing up. I've been doing cardio in the morning, but it's just to just wake me up. Just to like get my cardio out of the way. It's nothing hard. It's not really pushing me. Just the idea of getting up is pushing me. But waking up and saying, the last couple mornings I didn't have to get up early, but I just got up and went for a run. I don't run. I fucking hate running.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
I wanted to stop, and I'm like, nope. I already have a waypoint like in my head where I'm gonna get. As soon as I get there, like then I'm done. But man, before I could even see it, I wanted to be done. But I think that's something I want to change up is start running or doing like a hit workout or something more. Even if it's get on the bike and have to do 20 miles biking or whatever. But that could, I mean, that's something I still have to work on.
Yeah.
I forgot where I was going before that, but we'll just bypass that. Start out with something different here. What do you do to callous your mind?
To callous my mind?
Yeah, so you're just getting just about done with the book. What are you going to do when you're done or right now currently? Because there are like steps in the book. Every chapter has a piece of what you can add to your day to better yourself.
So when I moved out right out of high school, I almost took pride in how undisciplined my life was. Like, I loved looking at myself and being like, dude, you do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever you want to do it. If you don't want to do your laundry, it'll pile up. And I had piles of laundry, dishes all over, like my house is a mess, like for years, dude. I almost took, literally, I took pride of how undisciplined my life was because I'm like, well, once you get married and once you start a family, you're going to be disciplined.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I'd see like myself undisciplined in like other aspects of my life.
Yep.
And like it's been like within the past year that I turned it around of like,
doesn't that like don't you feel like your day just feels more productive?
Yeah.
Say you're not getting much more done than what you were the other way, but just having that the organization in your day.
Yeah. So that's kind of how I started, was just like doing normal things that like better, like never having like dirty dishes laying around, giving myself like one day a week that you're cleaning the house, like you're cleaning it, like, and I don't want to have to do that. I hate it. And like,
biggest fear.
That's how
cleaning the house.
No, it wasn't my biggest fear,
Yeah.
but like you get home from a day of work and you're like, I don't want to clean.
You don't have a real reason to until you.
And I used to take
discipline yourself
almost pride in like not being disciplined in that way, because in the back of my head I'm like, well, one day I'll get there. Like one day it's gonna have to be that way, and I'm gonna hate it. So
but it doesn't.
I'm gonna live it now.
Think about the people that don't.
Yeah.
Even when they have kids and stuff.
Well, that's what kind of changed my mind. And that was like a year ago. And then
better than
now it's just kind of like I'm starting to run, and I hate running. I hate it. It's the worst.
I do too.
And we wake up pretty early for work. Like we start at 6
to get it done before that.
Normally I'm waking up at 5. Sometimes when we're on overtime we start at 5, so I got to wake up at 4 just to go to work.
Yep.
Now I'm running before work, like it sucks, dude. But like in my head I'm like, I get what's the worst thing that I could think of? And it used to be like doing things at work, like this sucks, dude. Like this is the worst. Yeah. But when I already ran, which in my head is like the worst thing I could think of, then all of a sudden I'm like, well, I already did that. Like I can like
everything's easy after this. I wrote that down for a point. So I have a little outline usually for when we do our podcast or whatever, just some things that I want to hit on. For this one, we didn't even have an outline. We're like, let's just figure out the audio and we'll just hang out. It's a Friday night. Like we're just kind of BSing or whatever. But anyways, on my outline, I have down, well, we'll talk about it more in depth probably on the next one too, like hit it again, because I think it really is important. But setting those habits and then trying to do some of the hardest things in the morning. One, there's not a lot of things to distract you. You're not running into people. Nobody's texting you at 4 in the morning. I mean, sometimes I text Jay and get your ass out of bed. You got to run. Sometimes I do that to him, but
and there's a couple times I like hit snooze a couple times, and it's like 4:20, and like I got to be out of the shower like getting dressed for work at like 5:10. So like
I like to send that. Hey,
you send it, and all of a sudden I'm like, motherfucker, you pussy
Yeah.
ass bitch, get your fucking ass going. And in my
Oh.
head, like I hear it like to myself, but then you text me like, get your fucking ass out of bed, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm going. I guess I'm going.
Those are the best when you know you caught them too.
Yeah,
and
you caught
good.
me a couple
You
times.
push them a little bit, and you just know you got them out there. But anyways, trying to do like some of the hardest stuff in the morning, because if you can get like the shittiest thing in your day out of the way, or not even sometimes the worst thing, but just something you know that you need to get done. If you got to do like a paper for something, or you have an email or a couple emails that you have to get sent out before you get to the office or right when you get to the office, just do it right in the morning when there's no distractions. It just eliminates one. If we do something hard like working out, there's no excuse of, oh, I don't have time, because you just got to wake up a little bit earlier and get it done. So enough with that bullshit excuse if I don't have time.
Yeah.
I think I used to say that sometimes coming home from work. I just had to rush my workout. Well, now I just get up an hour earlier and have to go work out in the morning.
Yep.
So anyways, when you wake up a little bit earlier and you get that done, like I said, there is no more excuse if I don't have time. And two, you just gain that mental edge.
Yeah.
And that is some new vibe in itself. If you can, when you get that little edge, you just, one, mentally you feel better, but two, just to know that you were up before everybody else, got your workout in, you got your whole afternoon ahead of you, or you already did 3 things for the office before you even left the house. Now you get to the office, you can sit there and enjoy your coffee or whatever, and make your calls, whatever you got to do. You're just 10 steps ahead of everybody else. And that to me is huge, having that little mental edge.
Yeah.
And even just like sometimes I'll go to work and so you walk in, supervisor, hey, morning, how's it going? You're already lit. It's like you had an energy drink and I didn't even have it. I'm just already.
Well, we should give some background too. Like, me and you both work construction.
Yeah. We should probably do that on one of these. This might be a good one. Yeah, we both been in the trades for a couple of years.
Well, I got in right out of high school, like literally months. I graduated in June and got in August. So it's been 6 years.
I've only been, this is 2 years in a union, but I've been doing trades since throughout high school. Went to college for 4 years. Wasn't my thing, I guess. Like I was all right at it, but
you graduated.
Yeah, I want to do my own business. So my idea was to go to the trades. I knew it. It was good pay. I know how to do some of the stuff. It's going to help me learn some more things. And then I want to take that, carry it over to real estate, and then kind of run my own real estate business and then some other small businesses and kind of find out, I don't know, what I'm passionate about doing, and then make it a business and just keep on doing that, and then help small businesses become bigger, and which me and Anna are doing that now. We're going to help market the gym, like make an online profile for them, and that's another thing that we got to start doing. I'll probably start doing that this week, actually, because I'll be off of work, so I might as well learn some other. Yeah. I want to do like a videography, like, I don't know if that's a word, videography. Is that a word?
I don't know.
Like market it with videos as well as just doing like an Instagram or a Facebook post. Just do like actual videos of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's about it, right? Both. You're in the trades, I'm in the trades.
Yeah.
So yeah, back to, like, I'll get to work and it's 5:30, 6 o'clock. You start at 6 or whatever. You walk in and sometimes you can just see it, like the soup's tired or whatever. Yeah. Granted, maybe they got to work a little longer. If they stay, like, maybe they got to do shit that I didn't have to do. But 9 out of 10 people you see come in the morning either got an energy drink or they look tired or they're sucking down coffee and they don't want to be there. 9 times out of 10, I don't want to be there either. But if you get some of the difficult stuff out of the way, going to work doesn't seem that bad.
Yeah.
Even my biggest thing is I like to work out in the morning when it's cold out. I hate getting out of bed to go do it, and I get in my car and drive there because my car doesn't even warm up by the time I'm there.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get a sweat going and I know I have to be outside all day, I'll get a sweat going, change into my work clothes. My heart rate's just a little bit higher. I'm a little bit more awake. I just don't get as cold when I'm out there, and that literally you have to do it to kind of fully understand what I'm talking about. Like that mental edge of like, I got this out of the way. Like being outside's gonna suck, but it ain't that bad.
Right.
It seems stupid. It really does seem stupid if you think about it. Oh, you're telling me if I go work out or just get this done in the morning that I'm gonna be Superman by the end of the day? You do feel a hell of a lot better. You ain't gonna be Superman, but
you'll have this edge over everybody else. For me, I used to look at like other guys at work or like my foreman, like look how hard they work like every day. And look what I'm doing. Like look how I've been slacking doing this or that throughout the day, and I'd be like trying to catch up to them, like catch up to somebody else, like you know what I mean? But then you start like I've been like running in the morning. So then I'd like mention it to him like yeah, it started like running in the morning, like random job talk, you know.
Yeah, just
I've been running in the morning, and then they all look at you like, are you fucking high? Like, what are you talking? You're running in the morning?
It's 5:30 at the
office. Then you have this edge where you're just like, yeah, you guys aren't fucking doing this. Like, I'm doing it.
You're pushing yourself.
And I hate it, and it's the worst. So then I'm like, well, if I can do that, and I can like get them to look at me like you're stupid right now, like what are you thinking, like in a good way about like running in the morning, all of a sudden that's getting easier, and then I like carries over to like they're like start looking at you like how are you working, like your work ethic like at work, like they start looking at you like
you're getting your work done, you're doing a good job doing it.
Yeah, because you're
also doing that outside of work. They see that your work ethic carries over to other things
too. But I think that it like that mental edge carries over like yeah, I just did something that you guys aren't doing, like people that you look up to, and it carries over with like if I can beat them here, I can beat them there, and then it starts like driving
you
to
like too, David's book.
Yeah.
So if you're out there kind of wondering like, oh, I just got to start running or I got to go work out, and it doesn't have to be. No. You don't have to run. You don't like. There's other things out there. This might be to each individual. You know what you hate to do, and what you should be doing that might be better for you or your health. Those are the things that we're talking about that you should start doing, and do them so they're pushing you. And then the next day you got to do it again. Do it a little bit longer. Just try to beat it every single day. Just keep trying to beat it, especially if you're really new to it and you haven't done something physically demanding in years. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt for doing it for a minute, 30 seconds, a minute. You have to work your way into it. Whether you got to talk to a doctor or whatever you got to do to figure out where your starting point is, definitely take that step and give it a shot.
Well, it could literally just be waking up in the morning.
Yeah. It could be waking up without hitting your snooze.
Yeah.
Some people have 15 alarms set.
That could literally be it, is just start waking up in the morning. First alarm goes off, you're getting up no matter what. You're not hitting snooze. And then all of a sudden you're up. And you feel like that's an accomplishment. And it's like as soon as I feel like I accomplished something, then it's like, well, now it's on to the next. Like you gotta, you know what I mean? Like as soon as I feel like I accomplished something, it's like, well, that's accomplished. What's the next thing?
And it still gives you that edge.
So it's not like I started waking up and like first alarm, I don't hit snooze anymore. I'm good. Like, well, what's the next thing?
Yeah. What else can you do to push yourself?
You can't just end it there. And that's where I was like failing for a long time.
But I think that's also what you were just talking about with work. is because not only did you have the edge of, oh, I got up, I did this, oh, what else is he doing kind of thing?
Yeah.
But when it came to work, how can I make this better? How can I do this better? Oh, I just have to do this a little bit longer. Everyone stops 5 minutes before break, but you worked up till break.
Yeah.
Just little things like that you'll start noticing that you'll start doing because, well, I think after I read that book, it just changed. It just changed everything. So I kind of tricked Anna into it. Last night, she was doing a workout or whatever, and she was only going to do it it was a 50-minute workout, and she was only going to do about 25 minutes. She's like, I just want to do something. So I was like, yeah, mate. So my hardest thing is sometimes I don't want to go to the gym, but once I start sweating and I'm there for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it's like, oh, I might as well go hard. I'm here. I'm already sweating. So I'm like, yeah, hopefully you'll get to that barrier of, oh, I want to be done. And then you'll say, maybe I'll do another 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get to those 5 minutes, you'll say, well, I'm almost finished. I might as well just finish this thing out. I'm already sweating. So I was texting her that, like, I hope this is what happens to you. And then sure enough, I went to bed, and then she texted me, finish the whole 50-minute thing. And she's like, I had to because you said that to me. And that's totally how it sometimes. So if I'm running or whatever, I'll just get to like 100 calories, because I just hate it. And then I'm like, I get there, there's like 15 minutes left on the, you get there in 5 minutes or whatever, and there's 15 minutes left on the treadmill. I'm like, I'll just get to 10 minutes. I'm like, let's just stop there. Well, then I get to the 10 minutes, and I'm like, well, I might as well just watch this damn meter go all the way out. So then I just finish the thing off. But from the first minute, sometimes it just sucks. But as soon as I tell myself, oh, I'll stop here, once I hit it, I'm like, I have to get past that part. I don't know. That it just kind of carries over to a lot of other things.
Yeah, I would agree.
Get some of this nice coffee. It's so weird talking with the headphones on. Sounds so different.
I feel like you get more locked in with the headphones.
Oh, dude.
Because that's all you're hearing. Like.
No, but that's what I was saying too. Is as far as when we have the headphones on, it's a whole different world. Can you hear me?
No. Also, we're slamming coffee at 10 o'clock p.m. on.
If we're acting a little coked out, it's from this coffee. It's Folgers, right? Folgers?
Yep.
Folgers.
I do make strong coffee.
They make
though.
a good. You did. I watched you put like 4 scoops in there for literally. This is the 3rd cup that came out of it, and it's almost gone.
But I don't know. I love it. I love coffee strong. We talked about that today at my grandparents. We're
Dark
like,
black coffee.
yeah, we're like my dad and my grandpa are like, yeah, if it's too like we don't put creamer in it.
No.
It's just like, well, if it's too strong, like I can't drink it. I'm just like, the stronger it is to me, I love that taste, that bitterness. Like,
one of the first times me and Anna went to Starbucks, she's like, do you want anything? And I'm typical dude. I'm like, no, like, what the hell would I get here?
You get some espresso.
Can I get a frappe with some cream and shit?
Yeah.
No, I was like, just give me like a black coffee, whatever. So I get it like a warm black coffee. Sometimes I get ice in it. Sometimes she gets some pretty good tasting stuff though. I'm more.
All their stuff tastes good.
Yeah, but I just don't want 1,500 calories of sugar. I'd rather just have a black coffee. I just want it to get me a little wired up.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my black coffee. She got her little thing, and she never has black coffee. And she's like, can I taste it? And she's like, it literally tastes like the smell of cigarettes. And yeah, like I love when it just is.
I love it when it's like real. Like, this is pretty. This stuff here is pretty.
This is what I have at home. So I've been getting into instant coffee lately.
Mm-hmm.
I have some off-brand stuff. Tastes super weird. Obviously, still tastes like black coffee, but this stuff, Folgers or whatever, still tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
Even for just being instant, I would think it's relatively the same. You'd think it's the same?
Still, it's not instant.
No, it's instant coffee is what it's called.
Is it?
Yeah, you put it in the thing, and then you have this little stir stick, like electric. My sister got it, and you just like 2 seconds, it's a cup of coffee. So I just run the hot water, one little tablespoon. Shit,
But the
dude,
stuff,
lights you up though.
yeah.
It's strong. I use a tablespoon. Just a tiny little lights you up. It's awesome.
Yeah, Folgers is my go-to coffee. I've tried the Maxwell House. I tried like all these brand. I've tried literally almost every brand probably that's like mainstream. Let's look up coffee brands.
Your typical like over the counter coffee.
Yeah.
your typical brands.
So we got like McDonald's coffee. I'm not like huge on the McDonald's coffee. Folgers.
Oh, I don't mind. Do they have that? You can just get that in the store?
Yeah, you can buy that. But like at McDonald's, I don't. The Hills Brothers, I've tried that. Tried the Starbucks. It's all right. Hills Brothers is actually like, if you don't want to, like, my grandparents go to Sam's and they always pick up like the big 50-some ounce thing of coffee like I got over
there. Yeah, I was
there.
going to say that one's pretty big over there.
And that's like $8. You go to Walmart and like the little thing of Folgers is like $10. So like.
So you got that from Sam's?
Yeah.
Hell
and
yeah,
it was like
dude.
$8. Like.
That's a steal.
Yeah.
That's like 1 cent for a cup.
No, it's well, I don't know
how many cups are in that thing?
I don't know. But
there's at least 100. There's 180 in my little
I break
thing.
it down into ounces. So like if you can get coffee under 20 cents an ounce, that's a pretty good deal. If you get it under like 16, 17 cents an ounce,
it's probably dog shit.
Then you're golden.
Unless you're getting a bulk.
Yeah. So I get it bulk for like 16, 17 cents an ounce, and that comes out to a pretty good deal. But if you're looking for, like Maxwell House is all right, Hills Brothers is all right, but the Folgers Classic Roast.
That's your go-to.
That's my go-to.
We should start trying some of them like the small companies.
Yeah.
Not your typical.
If you can
mom,
get
like the grandma and grandpa have this shit,
Yeah.
Like my grandpa used to drink this. And Maxwell. I think
Maxwell's better. Hills Brothers and Maxwell House used to be like back in the day. It was the big.
I want
names.
to try a lot of the smaller, newer, like Black Rifle, like those types of companies.
Yeah, I'd like
would
to
be
try
cool
that.
to try. Not something I would want every single. Well, maybe I would want it every day after I tried it, but that's also I'm worried to try a lot of like high dollar coffees because if you go to the coffee shop in Rosendale, I always get they have 3 different black coffees that are like I don't know what they call them. They're small roast things or whatever, and they just have them off to the side. And so when you're sitting in there, you can just get refills and stuff. I like just messing around with those ones because they'll get some from like Nicaragua or just different countries, and it's just cool to taste those. I couldn't imagine sipping on like high dollar coffee beans. The difference, what you would find in them.
The best I've had was my friend in El Dorado. He got these like they're like green like coffee beans. Like they're the actual bean. It's still green. It's not roasted yet. And you roast them yourself.
Through what? In what?
Like your oven. Like he had like this
Oh,
setup
really?
in his oven that like would roast them. And then immediately after you grind them and put them in like a coffee pot. And you go and like it's so fresh. Like normally like you buy a container, it's already roasted, ground, and old. Like a fresh cup of coffee is already old technically. Where if you can get like a fresh bean that you roast yourself and then immediately grind and immediately put it in the filter and filter water through it.
Yeah, where it hasn't been drying out or just sitting.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. It was crazy. And like the beans he got weren't even fresh. Like imagine going down to like
Picking them right off.
Central America where it's like you pick them. I don't know if there's like you pick them and like you have to wait
I'm sure
for the actual bean to dry. Like
yeah,
I don't know if that's a thing or
like
not.
that's part of the process.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that if you went down like to the Dominican or something and you were just walking the streets, they'd be selling little baggies.
They do.
Do they?
We back in I was in 5th grade at the time, but we went to Punta Cana in the Dominican Republic, and we did a
Line of
excursion.
Coke. Oh.
Yeah, a line of Coke in 5th grade.
Haven't been the same since.
But we did like this off resort excursion or whatever.
Yeah.
And we went to this like a school, and we saw the schools, and like we went to this like a real stick of cinnamon, fresh picked, we bought. And like that was crazy. Like then we went to like the coffee beans and like seeing how they like
a grow?
Yeah, like
grow
an
out?
actual like grow.
Yeah.
And we bought like a bag of coffee, but it was already roasted and ground.
Oh.
And that was like super good. Well, my mom said like that was like
Best stuff.
the best stuff ever. I was too young to like get into coffee.
Yeah, or care about it.
But like I'm like, well, what if like you do one of those and then you're just like down there and you're like, well, like
I would have that every day.
Yeah.
So one of the guys that in the summertime, I haven't done it in a couple of years, but in the summertime we do like the dirt bike races with Hando. He has an older guy that he hangs out with that does that. We were running the gate or whatever, and I was just sitting with him. He's I think he was like 54 or so at the time, and he was telling me that one of his buddies was a doctor, and he would go down to the Dominican for like 3 months out of the year, and he would just live in he actually ended up buying a house, like a little villa down there. It's in a little gated community. It was like $100,000 for this whole house, and it's basically all exposed to the outside. You just like move these glass panels or walls or whatever, and then you're outside right by your own pool and all that. And every day he went down there for a while, and he said he plans on retiring there because when he went down there, everything he had, he would eat it fresh. He would go get, like, if he wanted seafood, he would just go right down the road. They would have people just sitting there selling seafood at the little local markets or whatever.
Yeah.
Every single morning, fresh fruit. People would be picking it, like, that day or that night or whatever. You could just go grab it, and it would be that, like, fresh, right? And when you'd go out to the beach to get your drinks, everything would just be so cheap. And you could, obviously, I'm sure there's certain parts of the Dominican that are a little nicer than others. Because he said if you kind of go down the wrong street, it was like, you know, getting mugged or whatever the hell they do. But I love, when we were in Italy, fresh foods and all that. That was the best, dude.
Keep your mic closer.
Really? It's that. Hopefully I'm not quiet in this thing, or we're going to have to do some.
I'm just looking at like the different levels, and you were getting a little
further. Too far away?
Yeah, I think you're too far away. I think you got to get
What
really
if I talk
close.
louder? Is it pretty good here? Do I got to be like right inside?
Yeah,
I can hear the difference in my headphones.
that's.
Dang it!
I don't know. Just pull it, pull it like right next to the outside of the table.
Yeah,
and then
just talk like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't too bad.
That's better.
Comfy.
Like you're in the same position.
But I feel better. Do I look fucking better? Come on.
Yeah, those levels are a lot better.
It sounds better. I can hear it. So we got our first snowfall today.
Yeah, it's snowing
It hasn't snowed
right now.
It hasn't snowed
since you got here.
It's been snowing for like 2 hours now. It hasn't snowed yet though this year, right?
No. Well, we had like a little dusting. I was running, and
oh yeah, okay. We had some flakes.
Yeah, we had some flakes. I almost killed myself.
Well, that was because you were running, not because you were gonna slip.
No, dude. There was like a light dusting, and somebody had their sump pump running out their front of their house.
Oh,
like
froze?
I do in the summer, and it froze over the sidewalk, and like I thought it was just like still wet, and all of a sudden like I'm running, and I run like an idiot to begin with. Like it took a step, and like my foot, like my lead step kicked out, and I'm like, oh fuck, like I almost just biffed it, and I'm like, well, at least nobody would have seen. Like it's 4:15 in the morning. Nobody's looking at
when
you.
You whack your head and you get an ambulance call. Yeah. 5 o'clock when everyone's going to work.
But that as soon as like noon hit, everything was melted, and then we haven't seen it.
So that we're supposed to get 1 to 3 tonight.
Yep.
And then another 1 to 3 on Saturday.
Tomorrow.
It says it's supposed to go pretty much the rest of the night, it looks like.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope we just get slammed so I can get my snowblower out. I love that thing. It's so fun.
Dude, I used to, when I was at school, I did a little snow removal business or whatever. I put an ad out on Craigslist, and I would we had like 10 houses, I think, at one was the most we had at one time, just me, Corey, and Noah. We had one guy. It didn't matter if there was a 6 drops, like little flakes of snow. He wanted me to use his snowblower so bad. I mean, he had a huge snowblower. It was super nice, but it would be so much faster for us three to just tackle the thing with shovels.
Yeah.
Because you're just,
Yeah.
if there was under 2 inches, we absolutely would just shovel it because we could do it so fast. Within like 12, 15 minutes, whole driveway, sidewalk, all that's done. It would take me 5 minutes to get the thing out of the garage, run in and all that, and then got to clean it all off, put it back in. And then you got to do it, So, I mean, it would take me 25, 30 minutes if I had to get it out, and because it only goes so fast, too. But the thing was a tank. I think we got like 3 inches one day. I pulled up to the house at 5:30 in the morning. He had his living room light just switched on. He had like this big bay window. And he was just up there, hands up over his head like he's riding this chopper. And he's just started doing like jerking his wrist like he wanted. Right away, he just knew we were getting the snowblower out. So he's in his underwear, like no clothes, whitey tighties. He's like a 75-year-old man, just like, vroom, vroom. Like, all right, let's go. Get her fired up. Whatever. He loved it, dude. Yeah, whenever I had to use the snowblower, he was so pumped to get it out. He'd be like right on my shoulder. Hey, this is what we gotta do. Plugging it in, getting her all like carved up. I'm like, I know, Marv. Like, good dude. He loved. Sometimes when he was bored, he would just call me up, come have him like bring some salt or whatever down to the water softener or whatever.
Yeah.
He was good stuff. Like, he took me and Anna out to dinner before. He cooked for us one night. Like, just like you see like that older guy on Beak's Story.
Yeah.
He just, when Michelle's gone at work, Brendan's over there at 10:30 shooting a BB gun in the garage with the guy. Like, that's the kind of shit that Marv would just be like, hey, what's going on? And I'd just go help him with some stuff.
I don't know what it is. I love my snowblower. I just love, like, I get excited to go snowblow. Like, I hate shoveling. Shoveling is absolute dog. But snowblowing, I don't know what it is. I just love to do it.
We would shovel, like I said, like I think 10 was the most that we did. And we would do it before we have to go to, I don't give a shit if they had basketball practice or what. Like, I asked them before it started, before like the season started, like snow season, winter.
Yeah.
You can't back out on me. You can't go to the bar and give me an excuse at 5 a.m. you're not coming to help. Like, you're either committing to this or I'm not taking on X amount of jobs. Like, I'll just do 4 of them and do it myself and whatever,
Yeah, if I can't count on you, I'm not doing it.
But we did. I paid him all cash, and I paid him.
I helped you a few times.
$20, I think, or $25 per place or whatever. So literally in a day, they would get $200 or whatever. Like, damn near $200, I think it was. For 2 to 2.5 hours of work. I think the most we had to do was like 3 hours, and it was because we got 6 inches of snow. And for half the driveways, we didn't even have to shovel them out. We just had to shovel the entries and the sidewalks. But it was just because we had so much heavy snow. We had an apartment complex that took quite a while.
I remember a couple of apartment complexes me and you did.
And then we did. We had the strip mall that would take a little bit, doing all like the. But we got lucky. Like on the big ones, the guy would come and plow them because I worked with another guy that would come plow them out if we got over a certain amount. So literally for like 2 to 3 hours, that's all it was. I mean, we'd start at like 5:30, unless we got a lot of snow. We'd start a little bit earlier at like 5. But we'd be done, back to the room by 7:30, 8 o'clock, and that's when people are just getting up to go to their first classes or at 8. So I loved pulling back into the parking lot, knowing that we just made like $200 each. Just like chilling, like, got that shit done. You guys just got up for class. Like, get some. Those are the best days.
I remember me and you went down that time.
Christmas. I had to go on Christmas Eve one. You came on Christmas Eve.
I came on. Yeah, I think it was Christmas Eve.
I think it was me and you.
I
No, we
remember.
had nobody else.
Yeah, I
it was
remember a
definitely
few
Christmas
times,
Eve.
and we did that like. You
Christmas
did the
Eve.
sidewalk of that strip mall, and I
Yep.
did like the entryways, and then
Yep.
we had to do the back alley type deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember a few times. It was like,
I had Brandon come down before.
yeah,
So that was the thing too. I would come home on winter break. Well, if it snowed,
you had to go
I
down.
still had to go back down.
And then you're
drive an
pulling,
hour
like,
to go get it done. So on Christmas Eve it happened, and I want to say literally Christmas Day. I think it snowed like back to back days.
yeah,
Well, I had to go do it. So I got down there Christmas Eve with you, did it, came back home, and then I'm pretty sure Christmas Day, like around noon or whatever, I went back down there and had to do it again.
I remember there was quite a few times me and you went down. I mean, I can remember at least 3 or 4 times.
I know you definitely helped me a few times, and it was probably over break. I know one time Corey and those guys were in a different state. I think they were in Texas or something.
Yeah.
For basketball. So that was what made me really worried. It's like, who's going to help me? So I had to talk to you guys. I think you and Brandon were the two.
Yeah, I remember
two that
Brandon
helped
being a big part.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like shooting the shit sometimes driving down there. And then yeah, obviously it sucked that I had to go back down there to do it. But I never really got too disappointed when I had to do it.
Yeah, we should say it's like an hour 15, hour 20 drive.
Yeah.
From where we lived to
So
where you went to school.
Those are the days where you didn't get, I always look at my hourly rate. If I had to get up and start at 5, that's when I started my clock. Like, okay, I had to get up and go. Like, it took me 10 minutes to get to the first spot, and then boom, 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 knock them out from there. But I always just kept that in my head, and then I would divide it up by then. Those would be the days where I'm like, damn, like, I got $20 an hour, like shit, because you had to count in your drive time and all that or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I still liked doing it. Even I don't know if it was just that edge or just the idea of the grind of doing it, but I freaking liked doing it. And then in the spring, I would do landscaping shit if I didn't have class or got done with class early. Worked with the guy that could go do landscaping whenever I wanted.
I miss those days of you in school.
Oh, we had a lot
Those
of
were
good
fun.
We had a lot of good times.
I remember I was down by my parents, which my parents live like 15 minutes from your school. Like they live like an hour away from where I live. So I was down by them texting you during the day while I'm down there. I think I was down there on a Saturday, and I'm like, hey, what's going on for the night? And you're like, hey, we'll be going out, like whatever. Like, yeah, come swing through. So I swung through, and it was just a shit show. Every time.
Those are the best when it's not planned, too.
Yeah.
When it's not planned and all of a sudden, hey, man, you busy?
Yeah.
All right, I'll be there in like half an hour.
Because then, like, I started like recognizing people that you went to school with, like JJ and those kinds of guys.
Dude, that's the best, too, when, like, your buddies from home, like, when they meet your buddies from school, like, it's like, good the first couple times, but then once, like, you don't even have to really be around either one of them, but then both of them are connecting because, like, oh, yeah, we know Nort. Well, then, oh, yeah, we met a few times. Like, hey, what's going on, Jay? And you just, once, like, all your buddies can just shoot the shit back and forth, the bars get dangerous then. Like, then your weekend, you got to.
Like, we'd always come down for, like, the homecoming, spring fling type deals.
Spring fling. Whew.
But then, like, I came down for that one, and then people that, like, I'd only met a couple times were like, hey, you're Nort's buddy, right? And I'm like, yeah, why? And they're like, fuck you doing down here? Like, why you down here? And I'm just like, I don't know, I was in the area, like, didn't have to, like, tell them, like, oh, I'm doing this or that, and like, tell them the whole story, but I'm like, I was just in the area, They're like, it's fucking awesome. Like, and then all of a sudden, like, people that, like, I could barely recognize that night were coming up to me, like, you're Nort's buddy, right? And I'm like, who the hell are you? Like, yeah.
Dude, that was my favorite thing. Like, you just invite a guy or two down, and, like, I don't know, because you have a good time when you're back at home doing shit, but then when you can bring them back down there and you know that you're probably going to get on a whole different level of stupidity that night.
Yeah.
It kind of just makes it that much better knowing that you're going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
And then when you go out, one of my favorite things would be the next morning. So like if you go out Friday night, all of a sudden it's like 8:30 in the morning. Everyone's just a bag of ass looking at each other like, you remember this?
Oh,
dude, you remember like what? I don't even know how I got
and
here.
There was always like there'd be like 5 of us sitting there like, you remember, like, wasn't that awesome when this happened? And like the majority would be like, ha ha, and then one person would be like, the fuck you talking about? Like,
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden they'd bring up, you remember this? And then like another random person would be like, the fuck you talking about? And like each person would be like, I don't remember this. And
filling in the stories.
And then like your whole night would be like pieced together of what happened.
It'd be about an hour and a half of talk, and then you kind of just start laughing. Oh, then you got your whole night like, oh, this is what happened.
Yep, it was so fun.
Oh, good times. Oh man, I freaking loved it. Spring fling would be like one of the wildest things that we would do at school. It would be my craziest one was probably my freshman year. One, I just didn't know what was about to happen. Like that was my first dabble in the spring fling. So we got 4 Locos. This is when this was right the year that they got rid of all the caffeine in them. There used to be like a ton of caffeine in them. So it was me. This is when I just like freshman year too. So we're still in the dorms.
Hold this thought. We should go get another cup of coffee before we start this next story.
All right, pause that.
Yeah, we'll pause it.
Hot?
I don't know. I've never tried it. I told my dad, pick me up some hot sauce. That's what he picked up.
It looks like Frank's Red Hot, but all of it looks the same. Till it whacks you.
The salsa is just like a mild, nothing sauce.
I'm just going to start at like one little. See if I start sweating. No, I could mess with that.
I don't think it's as hot as what Bubba had.
No, dude. Oh my gosh.
That was so hot, dude.
That was the hottest sauce I've ever had in my life. Ghost pepper, garlic.
Carolina Reaper, garlic.
Garlic, something. Oh my, it was good for like a second.
And then all of a sudden, for the next 5 minutes, you're just sweating bullets.
Trying to figure out how you're gonna breathe. We might have 2 people coming tomorrow.
Who?
Jake and Eric. Screw it.
Eric who?
Jake's buddy.
Oh, yeah?
I think I met him twice. I don't know if you met him yet. Met him. No. No, you might have met him at the shop.
Oh, that guy?
He was with Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah. See what the boys have to say.
Yeah.
What were we talking? What were we just talking about?
Before we stopped?
Yeah.
It was about spring fling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Where were we talking? Oh, my first one, freshman year.
Yep.
So, obviously, this is in the spring of freshman year, so we had all fall or whatever to, start drinking. Really to learn how to drink, I guess you could say. I would say we didn't. I mean, when we graduated high school, obviously for people's graduation parties, you'd have some beers or whatever. But I don't think we didn't do too much heavy drinking. Not yet. But as soon as we got into school, and I think that was the same year that it was either that year or sophomore year, Heemstra and the guys from Oshkosh all had a house.
Yeah, I remember
Heemstra and Taylor had the house with the guys from Oshkosh.
Yeah, I remember that.
Was that freshman year or sophomore year?
Sophomore year.
Oh, dude. That was probably the heaviest drinking we did. Because if we weren't drinking heavy at somebody's house at school, we were up here at Oshkosh or at somebody's house, like part of Oshkosh. Anyways, freshman year. So we really basically started drinking heavy freshman year or whatever. Well, then earlier that spring, still like winter time, I did a beer bong at the Carroll Street Apartments, and you good?
No, I'm gonna get some coffee.
All right.
Yeah, just keep talking.
All right. So we did what I was gonna do was, I think I was gonna shotgun a Four Loko that night. So yeah, that's what I was gonna do. So we were in our freshman dorms, and I was gonna shotgun this Four Loko. No, everyone's like, no way in hell you shotgun this Four Loko. And I'm thinking, does it taste like shit? I've never had one yet. Yeah. I'm like, it ain't gonna get me that bad. I get in the bathroom. There's like 20 dudes in there, just big old sausage fest in the bathroom. And all of a sudden, like, we're getting all pumped up. Like, or, oh yeah, like I'm about to do it, like breathing, like I'm getting a little sweaty. Just think like, this is about to happen.
Yeah.
I think it's 24 ounces. So I mean, it's a lot. And,
yeah.
And
it's a big old silo
alcohol
can.
percentage is pretty high on them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like sweating, and all of a sudden the RA walks in. What are you doing? Like he's from like Jamaica, I think. And everyone just stops. Shit. people are like hiding in the shitter. Like,
you're obviously not 21.
Oh, not even 21 yet. People are hiding in the showers and stuff. And here comes TK. He just runs through the whole thing. Like, everyone come out here. Like, so we get out there. I have a sweatshirt thrown over my arm, and I'm holding on to the can still underneath the, obvious as shit. So, everyone else is in like t-shirts and shorts, and I'm just like, damn. He grabs the sweatshirt, got his big hole in this can. He just looks at it, looks at all of us, shakes his head, dumps it out. He's like, don't tell anybody about this, and just let us go. Didn't get in trouble. So then we're like, no way. Like, we got to get the hell out of here. It's like 9 o'clock. We're like, where are we going to go? So then eventually we leave. Well, then I think Billy and Sam, they went and got another one. And I'm like, I'll do another one, but we're gonna they wanted to go to the Carroll Street Apartments before we went on to the bars.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go there. We'll pregame at one of their buddies' houses, their apartments. So they got the beer bong with Greaves Black Mamba, and then the Four Loko, and I'll run through this thing quick. I don't think I don't know if I've maybe beer bonged a beer before. Like, I wasn't completely new to it,
And we should say that, like, to this day, at 24 years old, if like when I talk about shotgunning beers to like younger people, like 20, 21-year-olds, I'm like, you got to see my buddy Nort shotgun some beers. So like I always tell him about how you do it.
This is how like the story started.
Yeah,
it was like a little like
you're a legend.
It's
like with all of us of how fast you can shotgun beers. It's fast.
It started at school my freshman year. So they filled up the beer bong, and I'm like, I stood in the shower because like, oh, he's gonna puke, or like, don't get it all over, freaking out. I slammed that thing in under 3 seconds, just gone. People are like, shit, like, oh, like watching me get to the end, but like
everyone's freaking out.
I finished it. Yeah, he's done. Yeah, and I just slammed it. Well, then I'm on a good vibe. I'm like, I just crushed that. Yeah. And people are like, no fucking way, like getting me all pumped up too. So then Nick Becker, one of our other buddies, has a backpack, because you always get your backpack with the beers. Well, I didn't have my backpack, and I couldn't find Grieve. I'm like, Nick, you got a beer? He's got only silos. I'm like, give me that thing. Cracked it open, gunned that thing fast as hell. So I'm just vibing now. Like, you're gonna die. Like, blah blah blah. I just kept like, slamming beers all night. I'm not gonna drag that out, but kept drinking fine the whole night. So then people are like, no way, like. Think it's the greatest thing because one, you just slam it so fast, but then you're just putting them down after that too. It was a pretty good feeling. Well, eventually, that carried over senior year. We had the beer Olympics for, I think we did it for homecoming or maybe spring fling, senior year. And we had to do one of them was the men's shotgun, and you had to pick somebody in your team. I freaking wiped everyone. Like there was like 20 dudes. Threw my can down. People are just still like sucking through them or whatever.
Well, what did they have like in March, early COVID, when we were showing up at the farm for 11 while he got done with work? Remember, there's that thing with Facebook where you were trying to beat this record on Facebook, and
something
you beat
chuggers,
it.
Something like COVID beer chuggers or something like that. Some kid from he would have been on the east side of the Mississippi. He said fastest on the fastest on the east side
and
of
you
Mississippi.
beat him.
So I
Like,
sent that one.
I took the video. Remember, you gunned it, then laid down and shot. We were sighting in rifles. You gunned it and immediately threw the can down, and then hit that target.
No, I shot that target at like 400.
After you gunned it, though. Like, you gunned it, dropped the can, immediately laid down, and then shot the gun, and then like it was like, ding,
like 450 or something.
Remember that? Like, to this day, it's like you and shotgunning beers are a thing.
I love it. The beer bong was awesome, like, but it became a thing where unless you were literally doing 3 beers, it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
You could just wipe a beer in a second in
Yeah.
a beer bong, so you had to put multiple beers in it. Fucking loved it though. I would do that. I still like getting in that groove once in a while.
Yeah.
We definitely don't go out and do that kind of shit as much as we did, but as Luke Combs says, let me think of what he says.
As Luke Combs says, I don't know what he says, but he said it.
I had it in my head. Damn, now I gotta find that song because it's stuck in my head. I can't think of the lyrics, so you ever get that?
Yeah, I get that.
I'm gonna have to play it in here. Maybe we'll get our video down.
That's not bad salsa for
It's good when you get that
hot sauce
add
in
the
there.
hot sauce to it. It's got to be in this song. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Put a can in my hand, man. Wide ass open. That's it, dude. I can't think of a better way to describe this dumb shit. Like when I get on that, I don't know, when you get on that level.
Yeah.
That's it right there. It's a good vibe.
It's been a while since I've been on the level. I call it on the level. Where you're not too drunk that you don't know what's going down, but you're drunk enough and sober enough that everything's just going perfect, where there's no worries.
Yeah, you're at that like level where you can talk to people still, and you just talk about whatever like comes to your mind, or you can really just talk about anything to anybody. And it's you listen to Jordan Peterson talk about alcohol, because it is a dangerous thing, because people that like it, it's obviously addictive, you know.
Right.
And it's addictive, one, like physically to your body, but mentally, that vibe can definitely be addictive for sure. Because you can have some drinks and feeling like you can talk to anybody. That's a good ass feeling. It's technically, I'd say it's a false sense of confidence, like it's fake confidence. But dang, like the confidence level, it's scary.
I remember that false sense of confidence. Me and my cousin are good for getting all tuned up and going to concerts. Like my sense of music is the exact same to his sense of music. Like, so we're perfect. And he's 8 years older than I am. But we're at a Tool concert, which was at the Pfizer, which is a big arena in Milwaukee. And we're, stadium seating, so it's not like you're down in the pit, like, type vibe, because that's way different. Oh, yeah, don't be doing that. I hate that.
Pet peeve.
But all of a sudden, we're in stadium seating. I have the aisle seat. He's next to me. And we're all sorts of tuned up and waiting for Tool to come out. Like, the opener had quit. Like, they're done. Now they're setting up for Tool. And this big burly motherfucker, like, total steroid meathead. He probably wasn't on steroids, but, like, normal people, like me and my cousin, would look at him and be like, fucking steroids, just trying to, stir the pot with him. But all of a sudden, like, the dude sits down, and my cousin taps him on the shoulder, and the dude turns around. He's like, if they play this song, I'm punching you in the head and we're going to start a mosh pit. Like, and I know my cousin, like, totally fucking with him. And the dude, like looks at him right in the eyes and he's like, I don't think you want to do that. And, like, I'm looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, no, dude, if they play this song,
he's just messing with him.
I'm going to fucking deck you. And I hope you retaliate. And the dude's, like, looking at me and, like, I'm, like, kind of
laughing
like,
because you're like, oh yeah,
what the fuck is he doing? But, like, at the same time knew exactly what he was doing. Like, and then, like, it was just like a dead silence. And he's just like, nah, dude, I'm just fucking with you. Like, if they play this song, I swear to God, I'm going fucking nuts. Like, that's what he meant. And then the dude's like, oh, I fucking know. If they play that song, there's no way that I ain't just, you know.
They connected after that fact.
But I'm like, if you were totally sober, you would be tapping some meathead on the shoulder.
No, you
like,
never would.
We're starting a mosh pit. And I'm starting it by punching you in the head. Like, what are you thinking, dude?
But then that's why people get in trouble too, you know? Like,
yeah.
Not only is it like the confidence, it's just like the inhibition. You're like, fuck it, you just gonna do it, or you don't even think of it, you just do it.
I love it.
Or you just
though.
know that it's kind of funny because
Yeah.
like no one would normally do that, but then you're like, I'm just gonna push this guy's buttons. Yeah.
For me, it's, I don't know, in my head, it's the funniest because I'm 5'7", 150 pounds, going up to like 6'1", 240 guys that are like muscle mound, you know?
Eat you.
Would flick me in the middle of the forehead and I'd crumble.
Eat steaks bigger than you.
Yeah. But it's always the funniest as soon as you start talking. Like, normally I can sense when the tables are turning. And then I'm just like, no, dude, I'm just fucking with you. Like, I'm fucking playing.
Talk about some tables turning. So, I don't think I told you this. We were out the other night for Thanksgiving or whatever. And we went to get some food. Well, we had to leave the bar because, I told you this? I don't know.
At Taco Bell?
Oh, yeah, then I don't want to say it on here.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Dude, that table's turned for that kid really fast.
Yeah, but that was pushed way further than what I would ever. I've never. As
stop,
soon as you feel that like they're not taking this as a joke, it's immediately like, dude, I'm just playing. Like,
yeah.
And then immediately they're just like, dude, like laughing with you, like your buddies after that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to know the like. As soon as I'm drinking, I'm a shit talker.
But you can't get past. Like,
but I've never pushed it. I've never even been close to a bar fight.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, I feel like I have a good reason of like.
If you can read the guy and they're not too messed up too, where like they're on it like a buzz where they're like, oh, he's just. Some people are, he's just messing with me. Like, but you're just like.
I found.
You're literally just trying to be like a jokester with him. You're like, your goal is not actually to make this guy want to punch you in the face. Because like at the end of it, you're kind of like throwing the punchline like. Just fucking with you. Yeah. And then you connect, you know, and then you might bullshit the whole night and just sometimes that's like you just sit there and BS with this, like you just met him bulk all night. Like,
I don't know. I've never been even close to a bar fight. I mean, I've been close. That one bar owner that wanted to charge an arm and a leg to get in, but that was that wasn't me fucking around with him. That was me being pissed about it, wanting to be a dickhead. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like you normally have a good sense of when people take it too far, but
unless you're too tanked up, but usually we never get to that where we're the ones that are in that situation. Usually it's somebody
normally
else.
One of us are pulling the other out like, dude, you're taking this too far. Get the fuck out of here. Like somebody's like, I don't know, we all got each other's back, I feel like.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just hate when people like purposely try to like actually get them fired up at you, and
that's what happened.
And then they're like run up to you like, hey, this guy's mad at me. It's like, well, yeah, you literally were just being a dumbass the whole night. Corey's done that so many times. No, you gotta come. It's like, dude, if you just shut up. Like Brendan does it on accident. You know? He's not even trying. You know, like he just gets sauce and So I can't say accident, but like obviously he made the decision to do that, but. Like, he'll be sauced, And then, you know, he'll just tap you on the, like, he grabs your shoulder,
Yeah.
like, just talk to you. A couple times he's done that, and, like, people get so mad. And, like, there was one guy where, like, had 4 of his friends just holding on to him, like, no, like, yelling at him. And I had no clue what was even going on. It's me and Bill were just talking shit to each other, and then Beak is sauced against this wall and, like, looking at us with, like, no idea where he is. Look. He's just kind of laughing, and we look at these guys, and they're just fired up, and the guy wants to, like, rip his head off. And all of a sudden, we get back, and Bill's like, oh, man, they wanted to kill Brendan. And I'm like, I didn't even catch it till he explained the whole thing, but then I was like, you're right. They were actually really pissed. And then we asked Beak, he's like, I don't remember. You know, obviously, we knew he wasn't going to remember just when you looked at him. Did I? Yeah, dude, they were gonna kill you. So that's the best part too, is when you get out of there and, like, everybody's good.
Yeah.
But you're like, yeah, you really said something to piss them off. Like, Zills did that at the bachelor party in the Dells.
I heard about that.
Oh, so Hunter's texted me. He's like, you got to get here now. I get there. There's 4. He's holding, like, four dudes back. And
yeah.
Jared's over there just talking away to this one guy. Doesn't even realize what he's saying.
Doesn't even, like. He thinks he's helping the situation.
Yeah, he does not comprehend what's going on. Hunter's like, you gotta.
He's about to get killed.
He's like, get us the hell out of here! Like, yelling. He's like, Jared, leave now! Just screaming at him. So finally, me and Alex grab him. We're like, let's go! Like, get the hell out of here!
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God, dude. If we didn't come over there within, like, the 2 minutes that happened, it would have been so bad for both of them. Because you know, Hunter can only do so much too, and Jared wasn't gonna do anything.
We had to do that to you at John's bachelor party.
At John's?
Yeah. You and that cop that gave me and John them tickets. You remember that?
Yeah, before we got in my Uber buddy.
Yeah,
remember
and
I met that
you were barking at the cop, and the cop's like, one more word, and you're sitting in the drunk tank for disorderly or something like that. And you were like, I don't even give a fuck. And then all of a sudden, like, I think it was me, and I don't know if it was Brandon. No, Brandon wasn't with.
Lemon, maybe?
It wasn't Lemon.
I know where it was. It was at Red Rock, right at the bottom of the hill.
It was right at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because I remember grabbing you and, like, obviously, like, you're a lot bigger than I am. Like, I'm not going to grab you and throw you in a vehicle. But I, like, grabbed you and was just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
I was mad. Well,
and,
I
like,
guess I didn't really
grabbed
comprehend that it was a cop.
And somebody else grabbed you and, like, threw you in the car because we're like, you're about to get
I don't think at
wrecked.
first I comprehended who I was really yelling at, because he was yelling at a group of guys.
Yeah.
He was, like, trying to, like, maybe arrest one of them. Well, I was like, you know, there's just another group of, like, us standing out there, you know? And then I remember him yelling, and then, like, I think I realized what I did after we were, like, in the car. Like, oh, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. Yeah, that happened, though. I do remember that. Who else was with us then? Maybe John?
It wasn't John.
It was my buddy, though. I have his number. I have his number because he Ubers down there.
Yeah.
It's just this random, like, he was literally, I think he's like Arab. I'm pretty sure. Is that like that's a?
I remember we used, like, one of the same Ubers that whole
all
weekend.
the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah! I could look. That dude was a beast. He would just sometimes not charge us for stuff because we would just tip him really good.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't even put it. We were like, hey, don't even put it on the app. Like, we'll just pay you.
Yeah.
We'll just pay you up, whatever it is. Yeah, he was awesome. We did the dirty business with him.
Those were the days. I feel like an old man. I'm only 24, and I feel like an old man.
We've changed up what we do on the weekends lately. It's probably a good thing. It's always nice though, once in a while. It's more fun now. Well, it was a hell of a lot of fun doing it all the time, but
how could you outdo yourself from the weekend before? That was like the mindset for a little bit there.
Oh, what you could do better,
or
more fun, or stupider. Oh, definitely. Nothing really comes close to John's bachelor party though.
That was insane.
25 guys, all
with the same mindset.
21 and 22 years old.
Yeah.
I think we all were just turning 21.
Yep.
And yeah, everyone had the same mind. Oh my gosh.
You remember finding that? I think me and you walked back from that Saturday night. Me and you walked. Did we walk back?
We had to get an Uber back to the.
All right. Well, we got back. I remember me and you we found that boat in the parking lot.
That's John's dad's boat.
Was it?
Yeah.
I remember we found that boat, climbed up in it, and we sat in that boat. And I remember like laying like in the boat, like almost falling asleep, like talking. Where the idea was like, let's try to work off some of this.
Yeah, like stay awake so we're not a pile in the morning.
And
it's
still,
already like 3:30 in the morning, and we had to go golfing or whatever.
No, this was the last night we were there.
Oh, so we could Oh yeah.
Like
dude, we didn't go to bed till past 4 o'clock.
And we're like,
because we cooked up them steaks at like 4:15.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a bunch of nice T-bones, threw them on there at like 4 in the morning. That was one of our ways to stay up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good
You
tip.
ignited
Just
that whole night.
Try to stay
Remember,
awake.
we golfed in the morning, went out the night before. Like, nobody wanted to drink by...
Oh, in the afternoon.
In the afternoon to
After
go
we
out.
got
It
back
was like
from golfing,
it was
everyone
like
wanted
4
to nap.
o'clock.
Yeah, nobody wanted to come out, and then we did. Hey, that's what I always say. When you're at a bachelor party or like a bachelorette, whatever, somebody has to be the spark to just light things up, because the whole weekend should just be intense, like whatever you're doing. I mean, unless your goal is to literally just chill.
Yeah.
But that was not our intentions. Not when you have 20 guys that are all just turning 21.
Literally, it was a whole condo where like people are on the floor, people are in beds, people are laying in the hallway. Like
the whole villa thing. Like a big upstairs, downstairs, double. Oh yeah.
There was literally 20 guys that are like 20 to 22, like because some of them had to stay back at night. Remember? Because they couldn't get into the bars.
Get to the bars.
So, like, they got fucked up on our pregame. So, like, we had people pushing us to the limit, trying, like, that was
their
night was to get fucked up at the pregame because they knew we were all leaving. So then you're trashed by the time you get to the bar.
It's only 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. That was a great weekend. I think to get it going Saturday, right? It was in the afternoon. I pulled out the old fire extinguisher.
Yep.
Yeah, if you need to get a party going.
We were grilling, all just kind of sipping, nursing beers hard.
Because we tried to play beer darts multiple times.
And we couldn't do it. No, I mean, you get hit at the bottom, and like it'd take you 20 minutes to finish this stupid thing.
It's 85 degrees out.
Yeah. So it's like 5 o'clock. Everyone's nursing beers by the grill. Like, I was thinking it. I'm sure everyone was like, "There's no way I'm making it out. Like, I'm gonna be the bitch. Like, not making it." All of a sudden, you pull out the fire extinguisher and just start spraying, dude.
I gotta find that.
I mean,
dude, I sprayed it in the room too.
Yeah.
Could not breathe. Everyone's like, "Oh, my eyes, my eyes!" Like, just coughing.
And then all of a sudden, we're like, "Let's go!" It was just game on.
I kind of like thought then and there, "Oh, maybe I messed up. Maybe people are gonna get sick from this." But then part of me was like, "You know what? Screw it."
Oh, you gotta find it.
Yeah, I'll play it in here if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Here's some videos from that night. Oh, here it is. There's probably so many swear words or.
Yeah, we're getting censored for sure on YouTube.
Oh yeah, sure. Somebody was recording me with my phone.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Probably you.
Probably.
Oh man, I hope it loads. Yeah, like I'm just in like sandals, some shorts, and a long sleeve, just chilling too. Oh come on! It's Bobby. Can you hear it in there?
Say hello to my little friend. Hey, let me get on video.
You turned and looked at me. I'm like, psh. Oh, good times. I got a lot from that day.
Those were the days.
Dude, we have a couple more of them coming up. Levin's bachelor party, Matt's bachelor party. That's all
Yeah.
this year. Well, 2021. That's their wedding. So it's got to be right in here. August. Oh, yeah. Got you and John getting tickets. Peeing in public. Got Keegan just pissing on the side of the bar. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, me and John both got the pissing in public.
I got a
literally
video.
block
I have a
from each
video
other.
of Levin walking down the sidewalk peeing.
Yep.
Well, he's walking, just walking down the like. People are literally right walking past. You can see somebody right there.
Yep.
Good Lord. You bet. These are some of the things you shouldn't do. You know, this is why we know when we're talking about life lessons. We're only 24. And not everything we do is the smartest or the dumbest. We never really got caught doing much, so couldn't have been that stupid, right?
Yeah. Guess it was being stupid
If you're
smartly.
If you're going to do it, get away with it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the only real ticket
Was that one?
was that one.
I never got in trouble when we were out doing stuff. No, I don't think ever.
I don't know, that one Eden
Oh, I
party.
got in trouble one time driving home. I was driving those guys home from the party in Oshkosh,
Yeah.
and my this was my freshman year too. I didn't go to the DMV because I didn't have a car down by me at school. So literally, we came back for a weekend. My license was overdue or whatever.
Your plates were expired.
No, I was in John's truck while his headlight was out.
Oh.
My license was expired or whatever. So when they did pull me over, I gave him my license. And well, why are you driving his truck? Well, your license is
Yeah.
expired. Well, you're not even 21. Well, then there was beer in the truck. All this stuff added up so fast. Whoops.
Yeah.
Didn't do that again. Now we just put it in the trunk. Actually, though, I think you have to have it in the trunk.
Learned my lesson on that one. Put it in the trunk if you're underage.
Only limit it to one road soda. Yeah. You hear that? Put it in the trunk. Till you're 22.
Yeah, I never really had problems in the car. Was that one Eden party got busted? It was like one of the biggest underage busts in like state history.
Couple hundred.
Remember that? It was a few hundred
Yeah.
got underages. All in this like farmhouse. Like it was crazy.
That'd be wild.
I didn't get one, but
that would be like if Hipschman's parties got busted. That's what it would be like.
yeah, I don't know if you should name that, but
Well, we're all old enough,
yeah.
right? If we're past that now. Yeah, you can talk about that shit, can't you?
I don't know. Can you?
We're gonna talk about it. We only get like 20 viewers. If one of them knows, damn, son of a bitch.
Yeah, dude, those were crazy though. I got some videos from that.
Those are wild.
People fucking in the lawn, like front lawn.
Everywhere.
Like,
Sometimes like
I walked to my car and saw like 3 condoms laying there.
that's terrible.
Buddy I worked with.
In the cornfield. Oh my gosh, we met a chick at the bar for Adams. I think it was Adams. No, I don't remember what we were doing. We were just out shooting darts or something. This girl comes up to us and she's talking to us, and I'm like, you are really familiar.
Yeah.
Well, then, come to find out, one of our buddies banged her in the cornfield, and she's telling us about that night. I'm like, what the heck? That was pretty funny. There's a lot of like.
They pulled up with a literal RV full of underage kids that we all knew from different high schools that all just unload. I mean, there had to been Corey was in there.
20 kids probably
Like,
at
yeah.
least.
I was gonna say
This old
like
Winnebago,
30.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
pulled up in the driveway and unloaded all
There
these
might have
kids.
been 30.
There was a
honestly.
ton,
There's
dude.
probably 20 kids that we could name.
Yeah,
Yeah, the best part was like people would come from all over the place that you didn't even know.
And
There's
it was in
guys
the
that-
middle of nowhere, so like nobody worried about it getting busted. It was literally like 15 miles from any shit town village.
Yeah.
Like you're literally in
If
the
that-
boonies.
If something would have came out there, we would have been all out of there
Yeah.
before they could have even
Could
done
have
anything
even
about it.
yeah.
It wasn't on a main road, not even close.
There was
Those
like
are the best.
one road in and that same road out. Like you would have seen cops and
We would
just
also would have
bolted.
all been screwed because nobody could have went anywhere
Yeah,
except for run.
yeah.
Those are fun too, though. Running away.
I did that at the Eden picnic. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. But that biggest bust in
My
state
sister
history.
was there too. Yep, she was there. I should ask her about that. She'd probably
I remember
have a good story for that one.
I was
I think
on
she
the
had to hide in a barn. Were there people hiding in barns?
no, there was no barn.
No, maybe that was a different one.
It had to have been a different one.
I know there was one on C that got busted. They had to hide in a barn for
This
that.
was
one.
out on Highway D by Eden.
Yep.
It was like literally a house and a garage and cornfields. That was the only
Just
thing
running
there.
the corn.
And I was on the back porch, and all of a sudden people were like, "Cops!" And I turned, and there was a cop there, like walking around the back, like trying to find the back door.
Yeah.
And I just started running, and he just like starts screaming, and like there's probably like 15 people with me, like
Yeah.
everyone, like
gone.
as soon as you heard cops and turn around and see a cop, you're gone. Like,
They tried to bust. Well, they did bust a party in Oshkosh when I was at Heemstede and Wesnix. As soon as nobody was 21 except for JJ.
yeah,
We were all in college or whatever. And everyone's like, cops. We try flying out the back door. 4 cops. Doors
Yep.
they just have the guys like in the house already had the door closed. There's like 20 kids in the stairway trying to run out. Well, you look, the window's right at your eye level. There's literally a cop in there with his flashlight pointing it at all of us. We're all like, shit. Like, all the lights are off, Like they didn't just walk in on this whole thing,
Yeah.
They were already in the whole yard, Nobody got underage. JJ walks out there, and he's like, yeah, everyone just has to go home. Like, no driving, blah, blah, blah. He was right around pub crawl or what,
Yeah.
So we couldn't go to the bars yet, so all the freshmen are having house parties. So that's what we were doing. And nobody gets yelled at. Everyone just walks home. We leave, go down the street to a different spot. It was sweet because it was
Yep.
only like 10:30, but we thought we were screwed. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, we're pinned. Like, we can't get out of here. Now go home. What? I think they just saw like 100 kids. I'm not doing all that fucking
Yeah.
paperwork. No way.
I don't even know how that house in Eden got busted. They had parties like once a month where it was crazy.
Some
like that.
kid, call it in. Oh, I didn't get invited.
Yeah.
Call it in. Heck yeah.
I remember there were so many people and like there's like the cornfield and I'm not stopping in the cornfield, so I ran through the cornfield to like the woods and I like perked up and like climbed the tree so I could like see the house. So I'm like watching the whole thing, like expecting like
Who'd you go home with?
Huh?
Who'd you go home
I
with?
slept out there.
No way.
Yeah, my car was there. I drove me. I don't want to name who I drove because I don't know if he'd be comfortable with that. But
Yeah.
a guy a year ahead of us. But I drove me and him there, and like I'm like, once I seen everything start like
Did you get
quieting
caught?
down, huh?
Did you get caught?
No, he was 21.
Oh.
I was 20. He was 21.
Really?
I believe so.
Dang. You were just a driver. You just ran for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought it'd be cool to run, so I ran. Sometimes I just want to call in my own party sometimes when I'm 21 and then be like, fucker. Just, run away. Like 30, 21-year-olds just running away. What?
When all of us are
Freeze!
over 21 and you
Yeah.
call it in.
Gotcha. You guys want to have a beer with us? Sit down. You've had a long couple months here. Well, that'd be great. And the best thing would be like if we knew them, if you knew they were working
Yeah.
that night, and you went and did that. They show up. Oh, I know this address. What? Like what? Oh, it must be Little Sisters or something. No way, this idiot's having an underage party. What a dumbass. And then hey, you want a beer? I wish like cops would just bust the party and take the keg or take all the cans. So, Anna's uncle was telling me a story about that. When they were in high school, when they graduated, the year that they graduated was like 98 or, yeah. Yeah, that's about right. He said that when their party got busted, huge. He's just telling me it was basically like Jake's, and they had a huge bonfire. So it was like it's gonna get busted, obviously, right? Well, the cops came, took all the beer. Nobody got tickets or anything. They just took all the beer. You know, like when they come to some parties, they just dump it all out. No, he said they just took it and went home.
Yeah, that got
That'd be
divvied up at the station.
Oh, yeah. Like, hey, who wants this? Choop, choop. Just handing that stuff out like candy. I wish they would do that. This power light was just tweaking out. It just went green. It was red before. What does that mean now?
I don't know. Everything looks good on here yet. Wait. Oh, no.
You good?
It looks good. Looks the same.
Oh, hopefully it's recording. Man. Dang. It's
Hour 55 in.
All right. We can call her soon, probably. All right. Well, maybe we'll just call it right now. Start it tomorrow morning. I guess we'll give that as a wrap, and then I don't know if we'll upload it. I'll probably get this one uploaded hopefully before the end of Sunday night, and then maybe I'll get the other one Wednesday or Thursday just to spread it out a little bit, and then hopefully the next weekend we're on to another one, and we can do.
Got some guests for the next one?
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll have, one of my buddies and his buddy, guy I met from work, and we'll see what those boys have to say. Maybe I'll send them a text to write down a few things or whatever, just so we have something to go off of. And till then, thanks for listening. See you guys in the next one.